welcome back to the Tiny Human Handbook. Today we're going to talk about something incredibly important, and that is communication with your little one. It's so important even from the start, before they're talking, to set the foundation for strong communication throughout life. As parents, we all want to start off our child with strong communication right from the start, and nurture a strong bond through that communication as they develop and grow. And even though my little one's only 11 months old, we still are starting a strong foundation through communication. I remember the first time I saw him waving at me when I said hi and hello, and now he's waved before, but only when we were already waving and maybe even moving his arm so that he can wave. But one day I said hi when he woke up from a nap, and up his little hand went to do waving at us. You know, he understands when to use it, and it just meant a lot to see that communication developing. And now communication is more than just words. It's about building a connection and a bond. And the way that you're speaking to your children, and the more words and interactions that you guys are narrating throughout your day, the more they're going to be exposed to and hopefully start to communicate back as well. Okay, so now let's talk about some strategies for a foundation of communication. So first, we're going to talk about nonverbal communication. So even from the first day where children are starting to be able to see, they can start to recognize facial expressions. And even sheep, they say, can recognize different facial expressions in humans, and they prefer smiles. So smiles, happy expressions, even over-exaggerated expressions are going to be a great way to set the foundation for communication before moving on to the verbal communication that you might think of. The next piece of communication is active listening. So once your baby does start to babble and go back and forth with you, make sure you're leaving some time for yourself to do the listening as well. So as they're expressing themselves, whether it's blah, 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 or ma, 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 make sure you're doing active listening, maybe head nod, or looking at them and giving your full attention. And you don't want to be in a situation where you're only setting the phone down and giving full attention when the child's getting into something that they shouldn't be. So, oh no, don't touch that. Now you're giving the full attention, versus when they were nicely playing and you were looking through and laughing at something on the phone. So they can definitely feel and sense the difference, in giving that full undivided attention during playtime or mealtime or whatever it is going to go a long way. Next tip is going to be responding to their cues. So cues are going to be those little body indications or movements or noises, we've all heard of sleepy cues. So for example, when a child is rubbing their eyes, you're gonna know, okay, you are getting tired. And that is the very beginning of communication, where they're telling you something. You have also maybe heard of cues for going to the bathroom. Maybe your child gets really loud with lots of grunts before they need to go, or maybe they are and focused and concentrated. So you're going to be able to use those cues as a foundation for communication, where they're telling you something about what's going on. Next part of communication is establishing routines. So having a routine such as a bedtime routine is a form of communication, because you're telling them these are the preparatory steps towards bedtime. So having a routine where something's happening the same way every day starts to build your bond. It also starts to build trust. You know, they're understanding that we do this, this, and this, and then that happens. So starting different routines, it doesn't have to be a bedtime routine, but whatever the routine is, maybe a diaper change is always in the same spot or happens the same way, or maybe you sing the same song every time you're getting in the car. Next is going to be exploring and encouraging that exploration. So as your little one is starting to discover different objects and different items, you can give them some vocabulary to talk about with those items. So maybe they found a red hoop or a bigger one than the one next to it. So starting to build that vocabulary, letting them explore, and giving them the space to learn about new words. Another way you can do that is with books, picture books or board books. I like board books because they're a little bit sturdier and you can flip through the pages with your little one and talk about the different things in the pictures. Even if you're not reading the story word for word, you can certainly read the story and build their vocabulary that way. But you can also communicate through the photos, like looking for how many strawberries are in this page or how many bananas are on that one. So in conclusion, starting a foundation for communication is going to be an important part of parenting and interacting with your little one. It's more than you might just think of using your words to communicate, but it also encompasses doing facial expressions, reading their cues, exploring and encouraging that exploration, and many other things. So hopefully this video gave you a few tips and things you can implement as you guys are working on your communication at home. And don't forget to like the video and don't forget to leave a comment as well on what you're doing to encourage communication. So thanks for watching and bye.